So I was just messing around on YouTube and I found this channel called Dear Diary. It's one of those storytime animated channels, but where the animations are absolute crap done with Flash and are basically produced on a production line. The channel hasn't posted in 3 months, but it's still has some videos up, and those videos are fair game for me to do a video about. Let's begin. So the video we're going to be looking at today is called I Catfished My Boyfriend, Became Billionaire, and Then It Went Completely Wrong. I don't know what to say about this title, and I really don't know what to say about the thumbnail because, my god, it is terrible.
I had to get the bag off my head. Shots were being fired all around me. It was like I was in a surround sound theater during an action movie that was way too loud and could, kill me. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking as bullets whizzed by me, and I tried to weasel out of the handcuffs. I felt like I was in an episode of Narcos. I kept thinking, how did I end up here? Did I deserve this just because I catfished someone? You probably shouldn't answer that question before I introduce myself. My name is Sylvia, and that wasn't my first time catfishing someone. However, it was the first time that catfishing someone nearly put me in a grave. There are a lot of ways to earn money in this world. There are these things called jobs, but I'm not really a fan of those. I prefer to make my money from these gullible, beautiful people called simps.
So you're an OnlyFans girl. Are you trying to make me more sympathetic to you? Because all you're doing right now is making me hate you more.
Ah, simps. The world is full of them, and they've spent the past 10 years making me rich. However, at some point, my simp Marcus was just too much for me. He was a creep, always asking for pictures of me doing weird things like stepping in marshmallows or bathing in a bathtub full of soup.
What kind of psychotic person do you have to be to get off to somebody soaking in a bathtub full of soup?
Problem is, aside from the photos being insane, I couldn't send any more because I was catfishing Marcus with photos of someone else. Someone named Isola, a beautiful girl from Argentina.
So not only are you getting paid to post pictures on the internet, they're not even your pictures. You're using somebody else to make yourself money. Again, this is making me hate you more. I don't know why you're telling me this if you want me to be sympathetic towards you.
Look, I'm not bad looking, but Isola is the kind of person these simps are willing to drain their bank account for. I know catfishing is wrong or whatever, but Isola wasn't even using the photos. She'd been off social media for 3 years, so it seemed like they were free reign. Women supporting women, right?
Okay, but what if she came back to social media? What are you gonna do then? And then she saw pictures of her just all around the internet. What are you gonna do? Huh? Are you gonna come clean? You've dug yourself into this hole too deep. There is no going back.
I'm sure it's what Isola would want. With Isola's photos, I became Eve. But I was tired of dealing with Marcus being such a creep, so I ditched him and went on the hunt again as Eve. I needed someone soon, because I was used to eating caviar and prime rib. So I posted new profiles on new sites as Eve. I talked about how I liked yoga and dogs and all that crap that these rich guys love. But for days, no one was biting. I was starting to panic. I had to eat ramen noodles like a college student.
Oh, boo-hoo. Ramen noodles aren't that bad if you know what a flavor packet is. Alright, she's acting like it's the end of the world that she has to eat a cheap meal. It's like the majority of the American population has eaten ramen noodles at some point because it's just the cheapest option. You're acting like this is some great struggle.
Ugh, it makes me sick just thinking about it. Then, someone showed up right when I needed him most. Like Avatar Aang style. His name was Alejandro, and he was sexy and he knew it. He had muscles, beautiful hair, and nice clothes. But it was the picture of him standing in front of a mansion that really got me going. He was rich, so I was sold.
So, not only are you a catfisher, but you're also a gold digger to some degree. Again, I feel no sympathy for this character, and I really don't care what happens to them.
But I was shocked. Alejandro wasn't a jerk, and he wasn't asking for photos of me bathing in soup. He was nice. He asked me how I was doing every morning and called me darling, like we were in some old-timey movie or something. Soon we were in a relationship. Alejandro owned a tobacco farm in Mexico, so the long distance wasn't an issue. Or I should say me being Eve wasn't an issue because I didn't need to meet him for any dates. But what I did need was money. I wanted to be like No-Face with hands full of gold. And I suppose I wouldn't have minded a slinky black dress either. So I turned on the waterworks. As a gold digger, it's always been my most powerful tool.
So you even admit to being a gold digger. This is our main character, yes? We're supposed to relate to this character, yes? We're supposed to sympathize with this character, yes? Because I'm not doing any of that. In fact, I wish the worst for this character for how much shit that they've just done. And how much shit that they just admitted to.
I sent a dramatic voice message telling Alejandro that my grandmother was dying of a brain tumor and needed $200,000 for life-saving surgery. I mean, I cried. If my catfishing didn't work out, I could probably go for acting. I could at least be on Riverdale or something. Then I sat back and waited. Within 20 minutes, Alejandro asked for my bank info so he could send over the money. It was that easy. All I had to do was send a few flirty messages and fake a brain tumor, and I was rolling in the dough. But I had gone weeks without any money. So I spent what he gave me fast enough to make Jeffree Star's head spin.
So you're faking tragedies to get money, and then you're spending the money almost right away. I have no sympathy for you. You did this to yourself, alright?
Soon, I needed another trauma to make some money off of. I couldn't just ask. I wasn't a sugar baby, I was a catfish. So I sent him another voice message of myself crying. This time, I crawled into my closet and surrounded myself with clothes so it sounded like I was hiding. Sobbing and hyperventilating, I cried, "Baby, I need your help. I have loan sharks that are after me. I don't have the money. I don't know what to do. I'm in hiding." After I hit send, I was waiting for someone to hand me an Oscar. I didn't even know what a loan shark was. Even saying it, all I could picture was the baby shark with a goatee or something. Alejandro messaged me back right away. He said he could solve my money problems in an instant, offering to put $1 billion in my account.
Okay, if it wasn't clear before, it should be clear now. These stories are obviously faked. None of them are real. A lot of them are made up. And the reason I'm attacking the main character here for being an absolute piece of shit is because you're faking a story. You could at the very least make your main character likable or understandable. I don't even know if that's a word, but you can at very least make your character relatable or make it so that way you can understand them. Because when your main character is just a lying bitch, nobody likes them at all. You should have done better, writing department.
That's billion with a B. I was practically drooling. But there was a catch. I would have to meet him in person after. I agreed, obviously. That night, I kicked back on my couch with an expensive drink. Your girl was about to be a billionaire. On TV, however, I saw that some billionaires were about to be in trouble. Apparently, there was a massive money laundering scandal between some politicians and drug lords. A snooze fest, right? I went to change the channel, but that's when I heard that some banks were going to change their transaction policies in the wake of the big scandal. Seems pretty rude if you ask me. It's not like I would take money from a drug lord to fund a political campaign.
No, you're just taking money from random strangers on the internet to fund a lifestyle that you can't sustain.
That next day, your girl went to get her money. I should probably mention that I had an account in Eve's name. I had a nerdy guy from high school set it up for me. He even drafted me up a fake ID with my photo so I could pull money out of the account.
Fake IDs, catfishing, gold digging. I have no sympathy for you. In fact, I wish the worst for you. And judging by the beginning of the video, I guess that's gonna happen, so there. My prayers have been answered.
Or I would have been able to before these strict new laws got put in place because of a bunch of prehistoric politicians. The person at the counter told me I would need Eve's birth certificate, a letter with proof of address, and a bunch of other crap I'd never heard of. I was livid. I was ready to go full Karen, but I got a text that distracted me. It was Alejandro telling me he was in the US. He wanted to meet me at a coffee shop nearby, but I'm smart. No, seriously. I stood across the street from the coffee shop in a disguise, just so I could get a look at Alejandro and make sure the coast was clear. You never know with weirdos you meet online.
Yeah, you never know if they're just taking money from you, lying about serious illnesses, and using that money for God knows what. Probably spending it on useless shit. You never know, so you gotta be safe.
Then I saw Alejandro. He looked nervous, like a bully was about to come and steal his lunch money or something. Then I noticed there were two buff men in suits behind him. The kind of buff that could crush me like a can. I snuck back to my car and messaged Alejandro from another messaging app, sending him a picture of himself and the two goons behind him. When I asked him what was going on, he sent me the message of a lifetime. Alejandro told me he was actually a dude named Carlito. But really, the Alejandro profile I came to know was made by a man named Manuel. Manuel, the man who is the leader of the whole money laundering scheme.
Finally, something good happened in this story. Fucking, what goes around comes around, bitch. The universe just had its revenge with you. Deal with it.
I, the queen of catfishing, had been catfished? It couldn't be true. But it got worse. Apparently, Carlito owed a ton of money to Manuel. To try and save his skin, Carlito took Alejandro's identity from Manuel in order to catfish Isola, the girl whose photos I stole and used for Eve. And the real kicker? Isola was Manuel's daughter. I stole photos from the hot, dangerous daughter of a drug lord. Apparently, my photo-picking skills are about as good as my man-picking skills. Isola apparently got fed up with her dad dealing drugs and ran away 3 years ago. It makes sense. That's the only reason someone as hot as her would disappear off Instagram.
Or maybe she could have disappeared because it's full of shitheads like you who fucking lie to everybody and steal money from regular people. Granted, those people usually aren't the smartest, but my point still stands.
Manuel had been desperately searching for Isola. When he saw me posing as Eve, he thought Isola had just changed her name and moved to hide from him. He was so desperate that he formed the Alejandro profile just to try and win her back, and made Carlito run it. I was shocked. I needed time to think, so I stepped away from my phone for a bit. I frantically Googled Manuel, which was a bad idea. I clicked through article after article, and it got worse and worse. Manuel was known for torturing his enemies in awful, brutal ways. So awful I can't mention them here. So awful I have nightmares about them to this day.
Yes, because information like that is just out on the internet, and you could look it up. And this person is still out there, still not in jail. Again, if there's somebody out there who thinks that this is real, I feel bad for you. I genuinely feel bad for you. Because you believe that this kind of shit actually happens. And that this kind of shit can happen. I mean, don't go catfishing people on the internet, because at some point it's going to bite you in the ass. But still, just have some common fucking sense and you'll be fine.
I needed to help him. Even though my For You page was full of tips on fleeing the country, I knew what I had to do. That very day, I ran to the police station. I told them everything. And I mean everything. Honestly, I'm still disappointed there were no hot officers in there. I was expecting a dash of Spencer Reid, a little Derek Morgan, but I got like Smeagol and Paul Blart.
Hey. Don't you badmouth Paul Blart. You saved them all on Black Friday. What the fuck have you done? All you've done is gold dig online. Don't you ever badmouth Paul Blart, alright? Fuck you.
But I gotta say, they helped me. They believed me right off the bat and were thrilled. They even called me an asset. They decided to use me as part of an entrapment ploy. I would tell Alejandro that I wanted to meet up with him, set the meeting place, and then go. And the police would then take care of the rest. Sitting in the station, I messaged Alejandro and asked him to meet up. The next day, the police drove me there. The crazy part? They handcuffed me behind the chair. They said if I got up and ran, I'd be a liability, which basically means they were afraid of me getting KO'd in the crossfire. They even put a bag over my head. They said it was to reduce my trauma, because apparently, according to them, hearing scary things is less traumatizing than seeing them.
I don't know the police department's procedure for this kind of operation, but I'm at the very least sure as hell it's not whatever the fuck this is. What the hell? This is like some 13-year-old writing a fan fiction and making it vaguely sexual. It's just terrible.
I heard Carlito, Manuel, and some bodyguards come up. My heart started to pound in my chest. The minute Manuel saw my body, he realized it was a trap. He yelled for his men to scatter, but it was too late. The cops popped out. Mind you, I was handcuffed and trapped there, not able to see anything. That's when I heard the cops yell out, "Manuel Hernandez, Carlito Hernandez, drop down now!" Wait. When that happened, my brain did a record scratch. They had the same last name? It was only then that I heard the truth. Carlito was Manuel's son and Isola's brother. He wasn't trapped. He didn't know him money. They were in cahoots. Just as the realization hit, the bullets started whizzing around me, but that wasn't the only thing that whizzed. I'm sorry, it's gross, but it's true. Have you ever been trapped in a chair with guns being shot around you? You'd probably pee a little too.
You know, I would say something like this isn't deserved for anybody. And this lady does not deserve this. But you fucking walked into this when you started catfishing people online. I'm not going to say you deserve it. I'm just going to say maybe the universe is just getting its revenge. And, you know, the universe can be cruel sometimes. I mean, it doesn't really fucking matter since this is all fake. But it's something to think about.
In the mess, the bag finally fell off, allowing me to see what happened. Manuel dropped to the ground, surrendering. I thought it was over until I felt someone grab me. Carlito wrapped his body around mine, using me as a human shield. Tears started rolling down my cheeks. I suddenly couldn't breathe. Would they shoot me? Would I survive? Then, suddenly, Carlito was on the ground. A sniper got him. Immediately, he was tackled. I cried to be released.
Okay, you know what? There's 17 seconds left in this video. I don't care enough to finish it. This is all faked. It's all bullshit. If you like the video, leave a like. You want to see more shit like this, let me know in the comments. And if you want to check out the rest of my channel, please subscribe. It really helps. Blah, 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 blah. Something about 200 subscribers by the end of the year. That's it for now. Bye. I'm gonna go fucking dunk my head in some ice water to wake up or sober myself up from this experience, because goddamn, you know what, that's it for now. Bye.